After a few days in Elk Mountain, Wyoming, it was already starting to feel like home. The land that Coop had given us turned out to be as gorgeous as the area surrounding it. When I first arrived here, I was worried about what type of land we'd been given and how many things we might need to fix on it. Turns out, we just needed to mow it a little bit, and then we needed to start building whatever we needed. And what we needed was a chicken coop, so we could start making money immediately. A house wasn't a top priority right now. I guess I could continue living in this truck for a little longer. But what I needed was to get a coop done, and the past few days have been filled with trying to make that goal become a reality. If I was going to stay here permanently, then I was going to need to earn it. And over the past few days, I'd been doing exactly that. And that should just about do it. And now we have a chicken coop. I spent the last couple days building this thing, going down to the lumber yard, getting a couple things. And granted, it's not the biggest chicken coop that we could get, but it will hold about 40 chickens. And that's really all we're going to get for the first run. And by that, I mean we are going to get 20 egg layers and 20 broilers. So that will be good. We also have to ted this field up. We mowed it in the last episode, and I'd really like to ted that up. So let me go and get my cell phone, and let me give a call down to the store to see if we can get them to deliver a tedder for us.
Good morning, Clearwater Motors.
Frank, it's Hurd. I came down there yesterday to rent a mower and a tractor from you guys.
Yes, Hurd. How's everything going?
Well, I got it done yesterday, and it looks great. The equipment worked really well. I was just wondering if I could get a tedder from you guys today.
I thought you might ask me that for today, so I reserved one in the book, but yeah, we can get that up to you.
Thanks for that, Frank. I really appreciate it. The only problem is I won't be here in the morning because I have to go down and get some chickens.
Oh, that's no problem. I'll just have my driver come up and drop it off like last time.
Okay, well, I don't have a driveway, so just come onto the property any way the driver feels comfortable. It's all good, though. There's no mud spots. Everything should be dry.
All right, Hurd. No worries there. We'll get that tedder up to you as soon as we can, and then you can flip that hay.
All right, well, I appreciate all the help, Frank. Thank you.
No worries, buddy. Here if you need me. Have a good one.
You too. We were off to buy a few boxes of chicks. Half of them would produce eggs that we'd sell to locals in the area, and if we were lucky, we'd land a few places in town to sell them to as well. The other half of the chicks would grow for about 7 or 8 weeks and then be sent to the butcher to sell for meat to local residents or restaurants, or even for us. We needed to make our own food. Without a traditional job in town, we were left to our own devices for both food and water. So producing our own food on our own land was something that was very important to me early on. We were also in search of some feed, and I'd have to keep the bags in my house or a truck for now so that the wild animals didn't come down and help themselves to it. I think a garage was next on the building list, but who knows how much that would cost. One problem at a time, I guess. For now, let's get in the store and grab some feed and the box of chicks. All right, now the chicks are loaded in the front seat of the truck, and we've got 40 chicks, and now we've got 4 bags, and 2 bags are for the layers, and 2 bags are for the broilers. They have different feed. The broiler's going to eat a lot more than the egg layers, and the egg layers are going to take a little bit of time, a few months for sure, until we can get some eggs, but it is an investment, and you know, the eggs are going to help us quite a bit to sell to local restaurants and even people looking just to get eggs for their refrigerator. I think we can definitely do that, but that's going to be in a few months. The thing that we are going to make money on first are the broilers. As I said, we're going to have them about 7 to 8 weeks. We are going to fatten them up. All they do is sit there and eat. It is the greatest life for the shortest amount of time of any real farm animal. But that is okay because we are going to use them and they are going to help us quite a bit for eating out here. We have money, but we're trying to conserve it. We're trying to make money and trying to make money by making food for this community. And chickens, like I said, something that I know how to do. We're not going to try to get overly ambitious and try to get into cows, because I think that's got a lot of problems and a lot of money that has to go out. We do not have that much money. And I hate to say that, because Coop gave us $70,000. We bought this truck. We bought the wood to make the chicken coop. We've bought some feed. Now we still have some money, but we don't have as much as we need to do a cow farm. So I'm hoping that we're going to be able to make money on the chickens, and then from there maybe branch off into other things. And by other things, I definitely mean a garden, which will and should happen soon. That way we can eat the produce and not have to worry about eating meat all the time. But for now, the chickens are going to do. The chickens are going to do a lot of good for us, and I can't wait to get them on the pasture. Now, I don't know if Clearwater Motors has dropped off the tedder and the tractor again. I don't know if I want to lease to own that tractor. I like driving it. I'm just not sure if it's big enough to do what we're going to need. I'm going to probably need to get a tractor that has some hydraulics. That way we're able to use that to pick up big bags of feed and save even more money when we buy in bulk, because buying these little bags of feed, that's not where it's at. It's going to eat into our profit quite a bit, and we are just going to be spinning our tires. We can live, we can survive. We've been doing that. Now I would like to actually build something. Let's get up to the farm and I'll pick it up when we get closer. All right, now arriving here at the farm and not seeing anything yet. Oh, well, there it is. Okay, so they have left the tedder here, which is great. And the tractor back. And, you know, like I said, I'm really contemplating seeing how much it costs to buy that tractor. But I don't know if it's big enough. That is going to be something that I ponder for a while. But anyway, we are going to go over here and park the truck up and get these chickens out, because I'm really excited. This is a big day here for us here on the farm. We finally had chicks on our farm, and I, for one, was happy. I spent the past few days putting that chicken house together myself, and I was happy with how it came out. All that running around at the hardware stores and the tractor supply, well, that was all paying off now. These ladies were small, but half of them would be twice the size by next week. The other half I would have to wait a few months to mature so we could collect eggs from them. One thing was for sure, getting the predators to stay away could prove hard to manage. But I was already looking into putting up a fence for these ladies, and me. But that was for another day though. For now, I needed to flip this grass so it would be dry faster so we could bale up this hay on this property. Alright, so now that the chickens are on the property and they are in their house safe and secure, we have got to get to this grass. We have got to start heading this up, and you know, we should probably get this out of the way. And it's heavy. Put it right there. And now let's get to the tedder. We don't want to pick up any other things like that. I'm hoping that we didn't miss any other things like that. But here's what they brought us. Of course, they brought us the John Deere 710. That's what we've been using this whole time to get this land all good. And again, I might buy this tractor. I'm not really sure if it's going to be this one or if we should just splurge and get a bigger one. But either way, it's going to do the job today. It is going to flip this hay for us. And let's get this lowered. Turn it on there. Oh, lower it. And now turn it on. There we go. That works better when it's down like that. And now, yeah, we're in business. And now we are going to use this tedder. It's been a couple of years since I've used a tedder, and I guess ironically it was at Coop's house in Pennsylvania. It's been a couple of years since I used a tractor, a tedder, anything, so there's always a chance for an adventure, but I think I do remember how to use this tedder. It's fairly simple. It will flip this grass very quick so that it can dry faster for us. That way we are able to bale it faster, and our chickens are in need of hay, so I'm trying not to buy it. But, you know, if we have to buy a couple bales, we have to buy a couple bales. But let's just see if this is flipping. It looks like it is. Let me stop the tractor real quick. I just kind of want to see how we're doing so far before I go all the way through this land. And yeah, looks like it's flipping pretty good. Everything's in rows. We'll still probably use a windrower to get them into more neat rows. That way we're able to bale it a little quicker. But either way, we're looking good. And now, in terms of who we're going to sell this hay to, I really don't know. I know there's a couple horse farms around here, a couple of dairy farms around here, but I really do need to drive around the area more and explore what's out here, because the truth is, I don't know my customer base all that well. I don't really know who's out here outside of driving around town and just looking off in the distance and seeing a couple farms, but maybe Frank will let me put something up on the bulletin board down at the store. That's kind of the newspaper around here. We, of course, have an official newspaper, but for farmers, that's kind of how the word gets out, is the bulletin board down at the store. So I may use that. But either way, I do want to improve this field as well. And I'm talking organically. I would like to see if maybe we could talk to a dairy farm maybe, or something like that, where they could spread some manure on the field. That way we just get a better yield on this, and it just improves the field even more, because this field hasn't been touched in a very long time, and I'm really worried about the quality of the hay. I would really like to get it better, so I think that's something that I may explore. Either way, let's get this field done. And now, just finishing the tedding job now. This place is looking better and better every time we set out to work on it. And it's been less than a week here, and we have already gotten this place looking a lot better. Hoping to get these bales done the next time we're together, and I would really like to talk to the contractor about maybe getting a garage here for us, because at very least it will help with the snow. I mean, the truck is not insulated all that well, and neither would a garage, but it would be a little bit better than just sitting out here in the open cold. So there are bigger things to worry about than hay. That's mostly my health and safety out here in the cold of Wyoming, but also the hay. You know, we want to keep it dry. We want to make sure that people are able to buy it. So that is a concern that we have. But that is where we are going to leave this field right here. I'll put this tractor over here so that the guys can come get it. I might just have them keep it here until the next time. But either way, the tedding is all completed. I was happy to have finally tedded this grass. I'd be happier when I was able to sell some hay, or at least use it instead of buying it at the store for our chickens. Either way, we had animals now, and we had our grass flipped and drying. But most of all though, I was happy to be using Coop's land for something. I think he'd approve of it, and something he'd be proud of me for. At the end of the day, that would always mean more to me than the dollars that this place could provide. Either way, I was surviving in Wyoming, and for the first time in a long time, I had no plans on picking up or moving to the next town.